moved slowly through the dark space, its metal body shined under the light of faraway stars. Inside, people walked through long hallways, checking machines and typing on screens. Captain Kim sat in his chair on the main deck. He was 52 years old with short gray hair and tired eyes. He had seen many strange things in his 20 years as a captain, but the message that just came to his screen made him stand up quickly. "Captain, you need to come to Lab 3, said the voice of Dr. Hanji. "We found something on the planet's surface, something alive." Captain Kim walked fast through the ship, his heart beat a little faster. Finding life on other planets was rare. Finding strange life was even more rare. When the door to Lab 3 opened, Captain Kim saw 5 people standing around a clear box. Inside the box was something that made him stop and stare. It looked like water but thicker. It was clear with a light blue color. It moved slowly in the box, changing shape every few seconds. Sometimes it made a round ball, then it would flatten like a pancake, then it would make a tower shape. "What is it?" asked Captain Kim. Dr. Hanji turned to him. She was the ship's main scientist who studied alien life. Her black hair was tied back and her eyes were wide with excitement. "We don't know yet," she said. "The team found it near the lake on the planet. It doesn't seem dangerous. It has no teeth or claws. It doesn't try to break out of the box. But look at this." She pressed a button and a small light turned on inside the box. The blob moved toward the light. It stretched out a part of itself, making a thin arm shape that touched the light. "It reacts to things," said Dr. Hanji. "It moves with purpose, and its cells are unlike anything I've ever seen. They can change and adapt very fast." Captain Kim looked at the blob with worry. "Is it safe to have on the ship?" "The box is strong and it seems peaceful," said Dr. Hanji. "I need time to study it. This could be the most important find of our mission." Captain Kim looked at his crew. They all waited for his decision. Finally, he nodded. "You can study it, but I want 2 security officers watching at all times. And the box stays locked. First contact." For 3 days, Dr. Hanji worked in the lab. She hardly slept or ate. She ran tests and took small samples from the blob. She talked into her recorder all day and night. Day 3 of study. The creature's cells can change their structure completely in seconds. It responds to light, sound, and movement. It might be able to learn. On the 4th day, Captain Kim came to the lab again. He found Dr. Hanji asleep at her desk. Her face was pale, and dark circles showed under her eyes. The blob moved slowly in its box nearby. Captain Kim gently shook Dr. Hanji's shoulder. "Doctor, wake up." Dr. Hanji opened her eyes slowly. "Captain. What time is it?" "It's time for you to rest properly," said Captain Kim. "You've been here for 3 days straight." Dr. Hanji sat up quickly. "But my work. The tests. I'm just starting to understand how it communicates between its cells." Captain Kim shook his head. "No good science comes from an exhausted mind. You need sleep in a real bed. 8 hours minimum." "But someone needs to watch it and record any changes," argued Dr. Hanji. Captain Kim pressed a button on his wrist device. "Security, send Officer Park Day to Lab 3. A few minutes later, the lab door opened. A young man walked in. He was tall with broad shoulders. He had a friendly face and short black hair. His uniform showed he was a security officer, but not a high-ranking one. "You called for me, Captain?" asked Park Day. "Yes, I have a special task for you," said Captain Kim. "Dr. Hanji needs rest. I want you to watch this creature for the next 8 hours. Keep notes of anything it does. Don't touch the box or open it for any reason." Park Day looked at the blob with wide eyes. "Yes, sir. I can do that." Dr. Hanji stood up slowly. She looked unhappy about leaving. The recording system is running. Just add voice notes if you see anything unusual. Don't tap on the glass or shine bright lights. It's sensitive. After Dr. Hanji left, Park Dae sat in a chair by the box. He pulled out his small notebook, old-fashioned, but he liked writing things by hand. The first hour was boring. The blob moved a little, changed shape sometimes, but did nothing special. Park Dae wrote down the time and the shapes. 2:15 p.m., Blob makes a pyramid shape. 2:37 p.m., Blob spreads out flat. 3:02 p.m., Blob forms two separate balls, then joins them again. By the fourth hour, Park Dae was getting very bored. In the quiet lab, with only the soft hum of machines to stay awake, he started talking out loud. "So you're a long way from home, huh?" "Me too," he said to the blob. "I'm from New Seoul on Earth. Joined the space fleet to see new worlds. My mom wasn't happy about it. She wanted me to work in the family store." The blob didn't respond, but Park thought it moved a little toward his voice. "This ship is okay. The food could be better. I miss real food from home. Rice with egg and kimchi, so good." Park smiled at the memory. "I have pictures. Want to see?" He pulled out his personal device and showed a picture of his family standing in front of a small store. "That's my mom and dad. That's my little sister Hannah. She's smart, studying to be a doctor." Park Dae talked for another hour, showing pictures of Earth, his home, his friends. He didn't know why he was talking to a blob, but it made the time pass faster. "Humans like to name things," Park said. "I wonder what your name is. Where you come from. Do you have family? Friends? Do you miss them?" The blob moved closer to the side of the box near Park. It stretched up tall. "You know, you're not so scary," said Park. "Kind of cute actually, the way you change shapes." Suddenly, the blob began to change in a new way. Part of it formed a round bump at the top. Then the bump grew two small dents. Park Dae sat up straight. "What are you doing?" The dents became deeper. A line appeared below them. With shock, Park realized he was looking at a simple face, two eyes and a mouth on the blob's surface. The mouth part opened and closed several times. No sound came out. Park's heart raced. He reached for the communication button but stopped. What if he was imagining this? "Can you understand me?" he asked softly. The blob's body pulsed. The mouth opened again. This time a sound came out. It was quiet, like a whisper, but clear enough to hear. "Thanks, boss, Dad." Park Dae fell off his chair. He scrambled back up and hit the emergency button on the wall. "Captain Kim," he shouted into the speaker. It talked. "The blob talked to me." Communication. 5 minutes later, Captain Kim rushed into the lab. He found Park Dae staring at the blob, which now had a definite face-like shape on its surface. "What happened exactly?" asked Captain Kim. "I was just talking to it, showing pictures, telling stories to pass time," Park said, his voice shaking. Then it made a face and spoke. It said, "Thanks, boss, Dad." Captain Kim looked doubtful. "Are you sure you didn't fall asleep? Maybe dream it?" As if answering the question, the blob's mouth moved again. "Boss. Dad. Friend." Captain Kim's mouth fell open. Then he hit his communication device. "Dr. Hanji, get back to the lab now. And bring the communication team. Our visitor has started talking." The small meeting room was full. 10 people sat around the table, all talking at once. Dr. Hanji stood at the front, trying to make everyone quiet down. "Please, one at a time," she said loudly. Captain Kim hit the table with his hand. The room went quiet. "Thank you," said Dr. Hanji. She turned on a screen that showed the lab. In the clear box, the blob was moving around. It still had the simple face on its surface. As you can see, the creature has developed a way to communicate, said Dr. Hanji. This happened during Officer Park's watch about 6 hours ago. Everyone looked at Park Day, who sat uncomfortably in his chair. He wasn't used to so much attention. Tell us again what happened, said Captain Kim. Park cleared his throat. I was just talking to it, showing pictures of Earth and my family. I didn't expect it to answer. Then it made a face and spoke. Dr. Lee Min, the ship's language expert, leaned forward. And the exact words were. It said, thanks, boss, dad. Then later it said, boss. Dad. Friend, said Park. Why would it call you that? Asked Security Chief Yun. He was a short man with a serious face. Boss Dad? What does that mean? Park shook his head. I don't know. I didn't teach it those words. Dr. Hanji touched her tablet. We've been running tests since it spoke. The creature seems to have learned language by listening. It must have heard these words before, maybe from the science team talking. But why those specific words together? Asked Dr. Lee. And why respond to Officer Park and not to you, Dr. Hanji? You spent more time with it. The room was quiet. No one had a good answer. What matters now, said Captain Kim, is what we do next. This changes everything. We're no longer just studying a strange life form. We're dealing with a being that can communicate. Dr. Hanji nodded. I want to start language lessons right away. Teach it more words. See how much it can learn. Security Chief Yun frowned. Is that safe? What if it's smarter than we think? What if it's dangerous? It's contained in the box, said Dr. Hanji. And it's shown no signs of hostility. I agree with Dr. Hanji, said Captain Kim. But we need to be careful. I want all sessions recorded, and I want Officer Park to be present. Me? Asked Park, surprised. Why me? Because it responded to you, said Captain Kim. It called you Boss Dad. Maybe it trusts you for some reason. And so Park Day found himself back in the lab the next day. This time, he sat next to Dr. Hanji, who had prepared simple picture cards. We'll start with basic objects, she said. See if it can match words to pictures. She held up a card with a picture of water. Water, she said clearly. The blob didn't respond. She tried again. Water. Still nothing. After trying 5 more cards with no response, Dr. Hanji sighed. Maybe it was just copying sounds it heard. Maybe it doesn't really understand. Park looked at the blob. Its face was still there, but the mouth wasn't moving. Can I try? He asked. Dr. Hanji handed him the cards. Park took the water card and held it up. This is water, he said in a friendly voice. Like what you drink or swim in. The blob's face seemed to focus on Park. Then the mouth opened. Roar, it said in a soft voice. Park smiled. Yes. Good job. Water. The blob's body rippled, almost like it was happy. Water. Good. Dr. Hanji watched with wide eyes. She quickly handed Park another card. Try this one, she whispered. Park held up a picture of a star. This is a star. Stars are in space. They're very hot and bright. Star, said the blob right away. Hot. Space. For the next hour, Park showed cards and the blob learned the words. It learned 20 words in that first session. By the end of the week, it knew over 100 words. More surprisingly, it was starting to make sentences. Not perfect, but clear enough to understand. Blob like learn, it said one day. Blob like boss dad teach. Why do you call me boss dad? Park finally asked. The Blob thought for a moment. Boss make rules. Dad help grow. You boss Dad. Park didn't know what to say to that. It made a strange kind of sense. The Blob had started calling itself Blob after hearing Dr. Hanji use that word. No one had the heart to change it. Over the next few weeks, Blob learned more and more. It asked questions about everything. What is ship? Where is Earth? What is human? Park did his best to answer. Not everyone on the ship was happy about this. Security Chief Yun watched every session recording with a worried face. It's learning too fast, he said to Captain Kim one day. It's asking about our engines, our weapons, our home planet. Officer Park is careful about what he shares, said Captain Kim. And remember, Blob is still contained. But late one night, the ship's alarms went off. Red lights flashed in the hallways. Park ran to the lab, worried something had happened to Blob. When he got there, he found Dr. Hanji staring at the box in shock. What's wrong? Park asked. Is Blob okay? See for yourself, said Dr. Hanji. Park looked at the box. Blob was changing shape faster than usual. Its body stretched and twisted. And then, before Park's eyes, the clear box began to melt. Escape. It's melting the box, shouted Dr. Hanji, backing away. That's impossible. The box is made of reinforced polycarbonate. Security Chief Yun burst into the lab with 2 armed officers. Stand back, he ordered, raising his weapon toward Blob. No. Park stepped between them and the box. Don't shoot. Let me talk to it first. Step aside, Officer Park, demanded Chief Yun. That thing is escaping. Captain Kim entered the lab, his face grim. Hold your fire, Chief. Let's see what happens. The box continued to melt, creating a hole on top. Blob stretched upward, pushing through the opening. Part of its body flowed out while the rest remained inside. Blob, Park said cautiously. What are you doing? Why are you breaking the box? The face formed on the portion outside the box. Blob need tell important. Box limit words. Need more words. You could have asked us to open it, said Park, his voice shaking slightly. Human afraid. Human say no, replied Blob. Its voice was clearer now, less whisper-like. Need show boss Dad. Need show all humans. Show us what? Asked Captain Kim, stepping forward. Danger coming, said Blob. Danger to humans. Danger to Blob home. Dr. Hanji moved closer, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. What kind of danger? Blob's body continued flowing out of the box until it was completely free. It formed into a taller shape, about the height of a child. Its blue color deepened. Others come. Bad others. Take planets. Kill life. They follow Hwarang soon. Security Chief Yun kept his weapon aimed at Blob. How convenient. It escapes and immediately tells us about a threat only it can help with. No trick, said Blob, its face showing what looked like distress. Blob people hide many cycles. Bad others destroy 3 worlds already. Bad others smell ship engine. Will follow. Captain Kim's face grew serious. How do you know this? Blob people feel vibrations across space. Feel bad others ships moving. Coming this way. If that's true, said Dr. Hanji, why didn't you tell us sooner? Learn words first. Need right words. Important message need clear words. Park studied Blob carefully. You're not just a blob, are you? You're intelligent. Your whole species is. Blob's body pulsed. Yes. Blob people smart. Different from humans. Not solid. Not fixed. But think. Feel. Learn. And your people sent you to make contact with us? Asked Captain Kim. Blob volunteer. Blob curious. Blob people afraid of solid beings. Hide for many cycles. But bad others coming. Need help now. Captain Kim looked troubled. We need to take this to the full command team. If what you're saying is true. How do we know it's telling the truth? Interrupted Chief Yun. Blob show, said the creature. It moved toward the lab's main computer terminal. May use? Dr. Hanji hesitated, then nodded. What are you going to do? Show bad others ships. Blob can connect to machines. Before anyone could stop it, Blob extended part of its body, touching the computer screen. The screen flickered, then showed a star map. Red dots appeared, moving in formation. Bad others ships, said Blob. Coming this way. 3 days at human speed. Captain Kim leaned closer to the screen. Those are real coordinates. That's our sector. I need to verify this, said Dr. Hanji, pushing past Blob to access the terminal. Her fingers flew over the keyboard. It's accessing our deep space scanning arrays, showing data from sensors we rarely use. Is the data real? Asked Captain Kim. Dr. Hanji's face paled. Yes. There are ships out there, moving in formation. They've been shadowing our course for the last 2 days. Our regular scans wouldn't have detected them at this distance. The room fell silent. Security Chief Yun lowered his weapon slightly. If this is true, we need to report back to Earth immediately. Yes, agreed Captain Kim. And we need to know more about these bad others. Blob, who are they? What do they want? Blob's face took on a solemn expression. They call themselves harvesters. They take resources. Take life forms. Study. Use. Discard shells. Been doing for many cycles. Many worlds empty now. And they're following us? Asked Park, his voice shaking. Yes. Hwarang engine vibration new to them. Curious. Want technology. Want humans too. Captain Kim stood straighter. Well, they're not getting my ship or my crew. Dr. Hanji, prepare a full report on everything Blob has told us. Chief Yun, I want battle station's readiness. Officer Park. Yes, sir, said Park. Keep working with Blob. Find out everything it knows about these harvesters. Weaknesses. Strategies. Anything that might help us. Park nodded, looking at Blob with new understanding. Yes, sir. As the others left to carry out their orders, Park remained with Blob in the lab. Why me? He asked quietly. Why did you choose to speak to me first? Blob's face softened. Park Day kind. Show pictures. Share stories. Not treat Blob like experiment. Treat like person. Park smiled slightly. I guess I did. Also, Blob added, its voice softer, Park Day miss family. Blob miss family too. Understand each other. Something tightened in Park's chest. He hadn't realized how much he'd revealed in his one-sided conversations. Can you help us? He asked. Against these harvesters. Blob try, it said. Blob people know harvesters long time. Know how they think. Know how they attack. Then let's get to work, said Park, pulling up a chair. We don't have much time. Alliance. 3 days passed in a flurry of activity. The Hwarang was on high alert, with all crew at battle stations. Captain Kim had sent emergency messages to Earth and nearby human colonies, warning them of the approaching threat. In the command center, Park and Blob worked together with the ship's tactical team. Blob had connected to the ship's systems, enhancing their sensors and showing them exactly where the harvester ships would appear. They come through fold in space, Blob explained, using the holographic display to show a rippling effect. 10 ships. First 3 small scout ships. Then 7 big ships. Our weapons won't be enough against that many, said Chief Yun, who had reluctantly accepted Blob's help. Not fight with weapons, said Blob. Fight with trick. Harvesters think in straight lines. Cannot understand change. Cannot understand Blob people. Captain Kim leaned forward. What's your plan? Need make Hwarang engine sound different. Need make Hwarang look like dying ship. Harvesters no take dying technology. We can alter our engine signature, said Chief Engineer Mun. Make it sound erratic, like it's failing. But that would reduce our actual power by about 30%. Do it, ordered Captain Kim. What else? Need Blob people help, said Blob. Blob call family now. Before anyone could ask what that meant, Blob moved to the communications array. It connected part of its body to the system and began emitting a series of pulsing vibrations. What are you doing? Asked Dr. Hanji. Calling Blob people. They nearby. Hiding in planet rings. Many Blob people there. Park looked surprised. Your whole family is here. In this system? Yes. Blob people follow Hwarang too. Protect. Watch. Blob volunteered to make first contact. For several minutes, Blob continued the strange pulsing communication. Then it turned back to the group. Blob people coming. Will help Hwarang. 2 hours later, the sensors detected the first signs of the harvesters. Just as Blob had predicted, 3 smaller ships appeared first, emerging from what looked like ripples in space. Scout ship scanning, reported the sensor officer. They're focusing on our engines. Engine signature altered, said Chief Engineer Mun. We sound sick now. Everyone watched the main screen tensely. The scout ship circled the Hwarang at a distance. They uncertain, said Blob. Think Hwarang maybe not worth taking. Minutes ticked by slowly. Then the space behind the scout ships rippled again. Larger shapes began to emerge, 7 massive ships, dark and angular. Main harvester fleet arriving, said Chief Yun. They're forming an attack pattern. Captain Kim's hands tightened on his chair. Where are your people, Blob? We're running out of time. Coming now, said Blob, its body pulsing with excitement. The sensor officer's console suddenly lit up with alerts. Captain. Multiple objects approaching from the planet rings. Hundreds, no, thousands of them. On the main screen, they watched as streams of blue, liquid-like forms poured from the planet's rings, moving with incredible speed toward the Hwarang and the harvester ships. Blob people come, said Blob proudly. The harvester ships immediately changed formation, turning their weapons toward the approaching swarm. Now Blob people show power, said Blob. The blue swarm surrounded the harvester ships. Where they touched the hulls, the metal began to change color, corroding rapidly. The harvesters fired their weapons, but the energy beams passed through the liquid bodies of the Blob people with little effect. They're dissolving the harvester ships, exclaimed Dr. Hanji. Just like you melted your containment box. Yes. Blob people change matter. Harvester ships becoming not ships. On the screen, they watched as the 3 scout ships were completely enveloped by the blue swarm. Within minutes, the ships began to fall apart, their components separating and floating harmlessly in space. The 7 larger ships tried to retreat, opening the space ripples again, but the Blob people surrounded them, preventing their escape. Blob people been waiting long time to fight back, said Blob. Harvesters take Blob home world many cycles ago. Now Blob people take revenge. Park placed a hand on what he thought might be Blob's shoulder. I'm sorry about your home. Home lost. But Blob people survive. Find new homes. Now help humans keep their home. One by one, the harvester ships were neutralized. The blue swarm broke them down to their basic components, rendering their weapons and technology useless. When it was over, Captain Kim ordered a ship-wide announcement. "This is the captain. The threat has been neutralized. We have made first contact with not one but two alien species today. One came as an enemy. One came as a friend." He looked at Blob. "We owe our survival to our new allies." A cheer went up throughout the ship. In the following days, formal diplomatic relations were established with the Blob people. They had been nomadic since losing their home world, living in the rings and atmospheres of gas giants across several star systems. "What will your people do now?" Park asked Blob as they stood in the observation deck, watching the blue swarm forming beautiful patterns in space around the Hwarang. "Some Blob people go with Hwarang. Return to Earth. Make alliance. Warn about more harvesters. Some stay here. Make new colony. And you? What will you do?" Blob's face formed a shape that Park had come to recognize as a smile. "Blob stay with Boss Dad. Blob like stories. Like pictures. Like humans. Want see Earth. Want meet Park family." Park laughed. "I'd like that. My mom would probably adopt you on the spot." "Blob have new family now," said Blob. "Have human friends. Have purpose." Captain Kim joined them at the window. "We're ready to head back to Earth. The diplomatic team is preparing for your people's arrival. It's going to change everything, you know. Humans knowing we're not alone." "Change good," said Blob. "Blob change all time. Humans learn change too." Park looked out at the stars, thinking about the journey ahead. "I guess we will." As the Hwarang prepared to leave the system, Park realized that his boring security job had led to the most important first contact in human history. And he'd made a friend unlike any other in the universe. Blob moved closer to Park, its body glowing slightly in the starlight. "Boss Dad teach Blob words. Now Blob teach humans new words. New ideas. Together." "Together," agreed Park, watching as the stars stretched into lines as the ship accelerated toward home, carrying the news of humanity's new allies and the threat they had faced together. Some of the Blob people formed a protective escort around the ship, their blue bodies creating a beautiful, shimmering pattern in the darkness of space. It was the beginning of a new chapter for both species. The end.